everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Happy Saturday to all of you. Just as I'm recording this, the government here in England has announced another lockdown. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to say that I hope all of you out there are staying safe and keeping well and taking all of the precautions needed to stay safe. I'd like to extend now my congratulations to the two winners of the Darkmoon Fair pre-order bundle giveaway, Louis Treves and Kolpik. Both of you have won the giveaway. I have replied to your comments in my previous video. As soon as the friend requests are sorted out, I will gift you the pre-order bundle as promised. I'd like to thank everybody who took part in that giveaway. Over 170 people took part in it and wrote some awesome comments telling me what they were most looking forward to with the next Hearthstone expansion. Thank you for your efforts with those comments that you left. Some really cool stuff was written, some very entertaining stuff as well. Some really cool ideas that people were coming out with. So keep your eyes peeled for more giveaways in the future. I think the next one will probably be at Christmas, so watch this space. Now, today's deck is a fun deck. It is Jade Secret Rogue. Rogue is my least played class in Hearthstone. However, you know, if you're a long-time viewer of this channel, you know that I love Jade decks. Jade Druid in particular. But I thought, let's try Jade Rogue and see how we fare. Thank you to the deck author, Nhat1989 for this deck. There is an awesome guide on Hearthstone, which I will link to in the video description. But a bit of a summary of how to play the deck, courtesy of the deck guide. Basically, you have secrets, which you need to save for Hanar. You have Secrets Passage. Well, use that to find more secrets for Hanar. Togwaggle Scheme in this deck. Don't keep it in the mulligan. Look for it in the late game and let it charge up for a bit. And play it on, you know, a Death Rattle minion, like Aya, for example. And then play Rolled Bones and get loads of copies of Aya and just get crazy value with your Jade Golems. You could play the scheme, the Togwaggle scheme, on the Elven Minstrel, for example, and just keep the flow of minions, the pressure, just keep it up. And you know, there is also the possibility to maintain tempo, Lab Recruiter on Jade Spirit. And again, just keep the flow of Jade Golems going. So this is not an easy deck to play, in my opinion. You do need to be a skilled Hearthstone player to play it. There's decision making to be made. There is planning ahead for future turns. There's all of that in this deck. But it is a really, really fun off-meta deck to play. My win rate is not great because I just kept facing priests and I just kept dying to priests. So if someone can tell me how to beat priest with this deck, in other words, how to play it fast enough to beat priest before you just get destroyed by Anduin and Sport of Shadows, then please leave a comment in the comment section below and I will take your advice on board gratefully. So, let's have a look, though, at the games that I did win. So, starting out here against a shaman. So, I'm not keeping the scheme, as tempting as it is. The deck guide recommends that you look for it later in the game. I'm keeping the Lab Recruiter, because I may want to shuffle a Jade Spirit into my deck if I find it. Oh, look, there's a Jade Spirit. So, I think that you can struggle against aggro because you can just get overwhelmed because it can take you a very long time to develop anything. You know, look at Jade Spirit as a 4-cost minion. It's a 2/3 body that typically will summon a 1/1 on the first go. Those aren't great stats for 4 mana, right? 2/3 plus 1/1 is 2 separate bodies. It doesn't do a huge amount for 4 mana. So even if you are playing that on turn 4 against an aggressive opponent, it may not be enough. But Hanar can be a lifesaver against aggro. Hanar with a range of cheap secrets, finding you a hunter secret, you know, explosive trap, That can be big. There are some saving graces in the deck. But this is a big shaman. And he gets the freaking Lich King on turn 3. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Oh, hello. Well, that's interesting. So, strategy here is to stall until we have stuff we can do. And the question here is, would you play Hanar in this situation and keep him on the board? Well, we have no secrets, so there's no point. The other option there, potentially, was to just play a Tempo Lab Recruiter, but that felt bad. So Rolled Bones was just me trying to do something to draw useful cards for a future turn. And now look, we're starting to develop a board. It's turn 5 for us, and we have 2 1/1s on the board. It doesn't seem especially strong. However, if we can survive... Now, that's a shame. But if we can survive, we will be able to grow a golem army. We just need to survive. And if you can hear fireworks in the background, please excuse that. It's Halloween. People are letting off fireworks, of course. But anyway, it's time to continue growing that board. We will be getting some more Jade Spirits in the near future. The Golems will continue to grow. Secret Passage could find us Jade Spirit going forward. It will come down to the pressure of his big minions versus the pressure of my Jade Golems. So, is it time? I think it is. Let's see what value we can get here. So I think that Freezing Trap is fine. It is expensive. It costs 2, not 1. There is a line of thought that says that maybe you should focus on getting just the cheap secrets, playing the 1-cost secrets, so you can play lots of them. But I feel that Freezing Trap there is going to net me some value in the near future. So I think it was fine to play. I could have just left the minion alive. There, the poisonous minion. And just let it freeze back to hand. But no, I want to save Freezing Trap for something bigger that he plays. Something that he summons onto the board. You know, like a walking fountain. That would be pretty cool. Scheme? Sure. Okay. That's alright. Now, Mirror Entity here is pretty cunning. If he wants to give me an 8-drop, like the Lich King, for example. We know the Lich King is in hand, by the way, because he did summon it, a copy of it onto the board earlier. So we can tell from the deck track on the left-hand side, there is the native copy of the Lich King in hand. The original copy, I should say. Okay. That's the second Eureka. Freezing Trap value hopefully gets triggered. Or maybe he won't risk attacking. We shall see. But for the time being, I guess we can just develop Jade Spirits, maybe? Or we could draw. See what else we get. We get another Jade Spirit. Get Aya, sure. No Togwaggle scheme in hand at this point. But we're happy to chill with this. The Golems are still not very big, but the next Golem to come out of the 1/1, the Jade Swarmer, will be a 4/4. I'm okay with that if he wants to use the weapon on a small minion and get a copy of it back. That's fine. Freezing trap value insane there. That card is now unplayable. As in, he can't play a 12 cost Colossus from hand. Okay, and that's fine too. If he wants to use Devolving Missiles on a board of relatively small minions, pre-Aya, sure, he can do that. I have no problems with that. Okay, he's nearly dead. Look at this pressure that we've put on here. It's pretty cool. Another Hagatha scheme is a possibility. But if he does that, is he going to be developing anything big? Maybe not. Meanwhile, look at our hand. We have double Jade Spirit. We have Aya. We have so many options as well with Secret Passage if needed. This is pretty strong, and hopefully at this point, he's just going to be locked out of the game. Although the healing, he's going to get 8 healing here. Oh, that's actually quite frustrating. Oh, that's actually big for him. That is really big. Even more healing. Wow. Well, that's an interesting pickup. But maybe for later? Oh, do we play it now? It's 4 mana. We have 4 mana. I think... Do we just do it? Sure. We're going to overdraw, but who cares? This is fine. This is fine. The key thing is we have Aya. We have the Spirit. So he pops the weapon here, the Death Rattle. He's not getting back anything that's terribly significant. Sure, devolve the Aya. I have another Aya. And there it is. Finally, we get the value on the mirror entity. Happy to trade, because I'm worried about Ancestral Spirit on his Colossus. So let's just grow these golems. What do we do next? We have 9 mana. Do we even need to play evasion here? I think it's unlikely that he's going to be attacking our face anytime soon. I think he'll focus on the board. So we may as well just set up evasion for a future turn. Spend the mana, get the card out of our hand as well, make room for other things. But yes, 8/8 golems are coming next. Dear. Why did he do that? Did he forget that the Death Rattle had been popped? Or is he just giving up? I suppose he's just giving up.
A tactical error.
And so, we are basically at a point where we've run him out of threats. Because we'll just make the trades. And we'll just play more golems. Oh, Sap. Interesting pickup. So it was Sap at the start of the game that screwed my opponent. And now Sap making an appearance here at what I assume is going to be the end of the game too. But we don't... Do we want to use it? I don't think we do. I think we can just trade here. And why am I holding the sap now when I could have sapped the Lich King? Just because I want to ensure there is nothing else that can screw me when we set up for lethal.
I want you and you and you.
Quickly. Justice is mine.
So if there is another taunt or something of significance that comes down, it will go back to hand and it is game over. Yep, and that's it. That was a beautiful game. Okay, heading into our next game. And joining this in progress, and we're going up against an odd warrior here with that tank up hero power. Now this is something I was really curious about. Can we outvalue a warrior with a tank up hero power? And with the ability to keep shuffling cards into our deck, you know, with Togwaggle's Scheme, with Lab Recruiter, I would assume that eventually, over time, we could just keep growing the Jade Golems. He'll keep clearing them, we'll keep playing them, and we'll just win. So, Togwaggle's Scheme to 6 copies now. How greedy should you be with it? Do you just wait? Like, in this situation, would you wait another 10 turns, for example? Because this game's going to go on for a bit. He's got lots of board clears. He's got lots of resources. Do you just wait? And then really get super mega value out of it in the late game? Or do you just play it now and get the value that you can get from it now because that's just enough? How greedy does one want to be? That is the question. And here with Bran on board, can't really deal with it. So, I mean, if we play Aya here, do we have to play Scheme? I guess we do. Although Scheme on Jade Spirit is still okay. But if you're playing Scheme on Aya, you get Roll the Bones value. Right? Because there aren't many Death Rattle minions in the deck. There's Aya, there's Jade Swarmer. That's it. Oh, that's a miss. Did he think they were all injured? That's hilarious. Oh, gosh. Okay, so, Jade Secret Rogue, courtesy of Nhat1989. Beautiful deck, really nicely designed and constructed. I'm confident that in that last game against the Warrior, that if he hadn't screwed up there at the end, I'm confident that if I'd thought my turns through carefully, thought about my plays, and kept extending my resources with shuffles and things of that nature, I'm confident I could have outlasted him. The only concern, I think, would be a sort of a surprise turn, let's say where he clears the board with some AoE, and then fills the board with 2 or 3 reasonably sized threats, and then stops hitting my face, and meanwhile I'm being slow to develop, our health total can be quite fragile, right? So the warrior has tons of armor, we don't. So we just got to watch our health total whilst developing our golems, and I think in that regard, we would have been favoured in that game, I think. So anyway, thank you to Nhat1989 for the deck. I just need to know, though, how to beat Priest with this deck. Is it possible? Can it be done? If they get Raza on 5, Anduin on 8, Spawn of Shadows in a timely manner with cheap spells, can you beat Priest? Because from what I can see so far, it is just taking too long to develop the golems. Compared to Jade Druid, for example, Jade Druid does take longer than us, than this deck, to develop golems. But Jade Druid has insane armor gain, and it is possible to survive against all of that firepower from Priest. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been a really fun deck to play. It is an off-meta deck, and so if you're going to craft it and spend 7,120 dust, please don't complain to me if you don't hit Legend with the deck. It does take a bit of practice and a bit of time, and there are some good matches and bad matches, as we've discussed. If you have questions about the deck, please refer to the guide on Hearthstone. Please engage with the deck author, who is responsive on Hearthstone and will answer your questions. But all in all, if you're a fan of Jade decks, then if you've got the cards already, this is probably something, at the very least, you want to try and experience from a fun factor, just to say that you've played Jade Secrets Rogue. Okay, thank you for joining me, everyone. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all again very soon, as always, for more Wild Mode fun.